Greetings. I am Reverend Dr. DeLuslin Kennebrew, and I serve as the Administrative Secretary for the National Convocation and Associate General Minister for the Christian Church Disciples of Christ. In December 2025, I gave my end of the year board report, and I wanted to share it with all of you. Happy New Year, my friends. Happy New Year. Please receive this report. At the 2024 biennial session, I shared these words. Over the next 2 years until our next biennial session in 2026, we are inviting you to help us check our engines because it is time for a tune up in the larger body that is the National Convocation and in the local churches, the fellowships, assemblies, and individuals that make up the National Convocation. We need you. We need all hands on deck and the spiritual mechanics amongst us who will pray for us and guide us as we seek the Lord in five very particular ways. National Convocation, our check engine light is on, and we need a tune up. So may this be our commitment and our prayer because it is not my work to do, it is our work to do. It is our work to dream together, to pray together, and to do together. Lord, tune us up. We need an inspiration tune up, administration tune up, ministration tune up, collaboration tune up, and a communication tune up. And in this report, I will share an update on each of these areas because we have been checking our engines and we are being renewed every day. To God be the glory. We need an inspiration tune up, reviewing our vision and mission statements and our core values. In January 2025, we hosted two open conversations via Zoom that allowed people to share their thoughts about what the vision, mission of the National Convocation should be today. We recorded these conversations and transcribed them. We then summarized the notes and drafted multiple statements that were reviewed and further revised multiple times. And at the end of multiple conversations, the statement we crafted together, the National Convocation, declares the transformative love of Jesus Christ as a prophetic witness that prioritizes uplifting, engaging, and advocating for the advancement of Black disciples. In the months and years ahead, we aspire to live fully into this statement and use it as a foundation to continue to redevelop our bylaws and brand identity. We need an administration tune up, exploring the ways we can grow to be a more effective board and secure funding to support this office. In order to set the National Convocation in a position to thrive, our ways of operating have to be clarified and strengthened. This begins with my own efforts to grow as a leader. I attended in person and online leadership training facilitated by the Kansas Leadership Center. When everybody leads and your leadership edge. I participated in the Interpsyche Women's Leadership Training sponsored by the Gamaliel Network. I also attended Black Ministers Retreat as well as the Lake Institute's Religious Fundraising Certificate training. The final project for the certificate is in progress as we have been in conversation with our finance team to launch a multi-pronged strategy for increasing our resources, including adding funds to our investments and starting a high-yield savings account. Additionally, the executive team meets monthly, and in lieu of hiring a part-time assistant, we have initiated conversations to fund the position of special projects coordinator for all in-person events in partnership with Greenwood Cemetery. We need administration tune up, reimagining certain positions so that the work that is required and produced is relevant to the congregations across the National Convocation so that they can thrive. While the National Convocation is not a programmatic ministry in the same way as other general ministries, we have provided quarterly opportunities to inform and inspire our constituency. The Outspoken Conversations on the Seven Last Words and Pentecost was an initiative to bring together a panel of outspoken men and women to talk about these two moments in the Christian calendar. In July, at our last General Assembly, before we transitioned to a 3-year cycle, we hosted two events: a pre assembly barbecue at Anointed Temple of Praise under the pastoral leadership of Dr. Thomas Murray, as well as a dinner concert featuring two disciple gospel artists, David Edwards and Ja Davis. We also were blessed by the wisdom of living legend, Dr. Joanne Ballard. I gave remarks at the very first HBCU luncheon of Jarvis Christian University and Tougaloo College, hosted at the Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church. In September, we hosted two first look conversations in preparation for the 2026 biennial session. We shared the overall plan for the biennial session as it relates to the dates, the location, the hotel, and the proposed schedule. We also opened up the volunteer sign-up portal so that people could sign up for a variety of areas that need support in order to execute a successful gathering. Since then, we have consistently communicated all of the above, in addition to hotel reservation links, as well as links to host meal events or sponsor activities, workshop proposals, and exhibitors and vendors. The official registration will open in January. In October, we hosted our very first Foundations Conference online. In one afternoon, scholars and practitioners taught us the basic ministry leaders need to help their ministry thrive. We gained practical tools from expert speakers to strengthen children and youth ministries, evangelism, sermon preparation, worship planning, stewardship, and technology. The conference was recorded and the videos were uploaded to Vimeo. In November, we launched Lift Every Voice, a year-long series posted on the 3rd of every month leading up to the midterm elections, November 3rd, 2026. We are raising faith, resisting injustice, reimagining the future. We are hosting conversations on healthcare policy and mental health practices, voting rights and access, race, immigration, environmental justice, food insecurity, the economy and job security, criminal justice, and education. Along with these conversations, we are proposing an action set for people to take that corresponds with the topic of the month. We need a collaboration tune-up, continuing to develop our relationships with general ministries across the life of the church and beyond, in ecumenical partnerships and faith-based social justice nonprofit organizations. It has been a pleasure to learn and to create opportunities to collaborate with other general ministries. In September, we ended a year-long partnership with Disciples Home Missions, specifically the Ministry of Green Chalice, which funded the Fellowship of Apostle Sharon Cosby. We heard about her work throughout the year, and at our last in-person board meeting, we have also begun conversations with new church ministries in an effort to look beyond our Black American constituency towards the inclusion of the African diaspora, particularly in the States. We have had a few meetings this year with representatives of Haitian and Francophone congregations. This collaboration is in its very early stage, but we hope to slowly and intentionally fully integrate our brothers and sisters of the diaspora into the National Convocation. We are grateful for being the recipients of the Orion Scott Foundation grant, which supported the Foundations Conference in October and will also support the distribution of the recording and part of our youth programming at the biennial session. Lastly, I was invited to submit a chapter to an upcoming book that was written in collaboration with the Arms Collective, African American Regional Ministers. We came together to write a book on Black women in church and leadership. I was also a guest on the Pension Fund podcast, as they are continuing to support diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, as well as the National Benevolent Association Incubate partner, Rooted in Dignity podcast. I also wanted to remind you of some of my ongoing commitments. I am a part of the Office of General Minister President staff, the General Commission on Ministry, TIFCOM, and Support Standing Committees, which is a part of the GCOM. Chalice Board, Christian Board of Publication, Disciples Home Missions, and the Black Leadership Project Grant, Disciples Justice Table, Council of General Ministries, Black Disciples Endowment Fund, as well as their grant coordinator, Greenwood Cemetery Board, General Board, the Executive Committee of the General Board, the moderating team of the General Board, the College of Regional Ministers, and the Reconciliation Commission. We need a communication tune up, enhancing the ways we communicate who we are and how we can best support you by connecting you to people, resources, and opportunities. One of the words I use to describe my role is connector. I am a connector of our people to people, resources, and opportunities across the life of the church. We have consistently increased our communication via social media postings on Facebook and through constant contact, sending our promotional emails through Selah. Lastly, this fall, our website went through a significant overhaul and redesign. Two significant additions include a directory for the African American congregations that have reported to Alex, as well as a way to search for grant opportunities in the general ministries. Both can be updated if any church or grant needs to be added or subtracted. In addition to the direct impact of the work we have initiated and completed, we have also been given opportunities to share across the life of our church and beyond. At the Martin Luther King Community Worship Service just before Trump's inauguration in Lexington, Kentucky, National Congress of Black Women, Torch Carriers Conference keynote in Kansas City, Missouri, preaching at New Revelations, Christian Church Disciples of Christ in Indianapolis, and Light of the World, Christian Church Disciples of Christ in Indianapolis, Indiana as well. I am supplemental faculty at the Central Seminary in a course entitled Practices of Leadership and Innovation. I've taught Bible study online for the Freedom Fellowship Church in Atlanta, Georgia, and the Emmanuel Chapel Church in Hampton, Virginia. I attended Sister Pat Pendleton's funeral in St. Louis, Missouri, as well as visited Centennial Christian Church, as well as a press conference that they had back in May. And the National Convocation has given a commitment of $10,000 over a 2-year commitment. I gave a solo at the Reverend Norman Fitmont's funeral service in Houston, Texas. I attended the installation of Pastor Lavetta Ross in St. Louis, Missouri. I also attended the Texas Christian Missionary Fellowship Assembly in Fort Worth, Texas. And I was a keynote at the Georgia Interfaith Commission Clergy Summit in Atlanta, Georgia. I attended the retirement celebration of Pastor Dr. Frank Anthony Thomas in Indianapolis, Indiana, from a Christian Theological Seminary, as well as attended the Churches of Christ, Disciples of Christ Biennial Convention, where I was able to give remarks in Norfolk, Virginia. I am also grateful for the opportunities I have had to visit Bonnie View Christian Church and to preach the pastor anniversary at Whosoever Believes Christian Church here in Kansas City. I am grateful also for being able to use my writing gifts. I've written an article for the Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan publication. And for Bethany Fellows projects, I've written prayers for communion and offering appeals for the Center for Faith and Giving. Lastly, as we continue the work of transformation and innovation through the ministry of the National Convocation, here are a few things we are looking forward to in 2026. We are looking forward to a collaboration on the rough draft, which is an opportunity to come together to brainstorm ideas for mission and ministry, the rough draft in January. We are looking forward to our outspoken conversations towards the end of Lent on the 7 last words. And of course, we are definitely looking forward to our June gathering, our biennial session in Dallas, Texas. Please check the website for more information, as well as our Foundations online conference in October. In an effort to continue to collaborate, our merger staff will be gathering for a retreat. And we will follow up with all of our assemblies and fellowships. We are looking to host a Black History Month panel and Black August conversation as we did on last year in collaboration together as merger staff. We are also looking forward to welcoming a new board to the National Convocation. Those officers will be installed and board members will be installed at the biennial session this summer in June in Dallas. And we will continue our conversations through New Church Ministries in order to solidify our diaspora connection with Haitian and Francophone congregations. We are looking forward to attending a global conference in South Africa this fall in partnership with Disciples Overseas Ministries, as well as finalizing all things related to a certificate program at Eden Theological Seminary in organizing in the African American context under the leadership of Reverend Dr. Deidre Wise Baker. I will close with these words from the hymn, My Father's Work is Pressing Me. My Father's work is pressing me, and I must do it faithfully. The reapers on the field are few, and I to Jesus must be true. This is my prayer. Humbly submitted, Reverend Dr. DeLeslin, Audra Kennebrew. Thank you all so much for the ways that you support and pray for the National Convocation of the Christian Church Disciples of Christ. God loves you, and I do too.